Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today I have a bit of a two-pronged video. In the first part, I want to discuss the new leading theory that's picking up major traction in Steam as far as when we're finally going to get the major reveals for the Division 2 and the Division Heartland, and then I want to discuss the exact date that I predict we may be getting the new Division 2 content based on information we have regarding the rerun of Season 4 in the fast-approaching Season 7. Sound good? Let's dive into it. Beginning with the newest rumor and popular theory for when we may finally hear about the Division 2's new content and Heartland. Now, leading up to Gamescom 2021, which concluded this past week, there was a lot of speculation from myself and others that they could finally be the slot that UB was going to take advantage of to showcase either the Division 2 and or Heartland. Obviously, that did not happen. We didn't get any sort of precursor that there would not be information there like we did for E3, and we also didn't get any further updates on when we will get news. It's come and gone, and nothing has changed except for some minor comments by both Yannick and Terry, who, if you don't know, lead both of the two projects respectively, and I covered at least Yannick's comment in a video the other day. Terry's was even less info, so I didn't do a video on it, but you can find it on my Twitter if you are curious. The important thing that I want to underscore here, however, is that not everyone thought we would get Division news at Gamescom, right? I watched plenty of videos and talked to plenty of people who did not think it would happen in the first place, and they were correct. But what I'm seeing now, and what I want to focus on with this video, is that with the passing of Gamescom and no new news, everyone that I follow and have talked to is now unanimously agreeing upon when we will in fact get news at last for the Division 2 and Heartland, and that is the next Ubisoft Forward. Now, before anyone asks, no, we do not have a date or confirmation that there's going to be another one for this year. However, there are some whispers and rumors floating around, and supposedly there is supposed to be another one coming up quite soon. Last year they did two Ubisoft Forward events, one in the spring/summer like we saw earlier this year, and then one that was I think on September 6th of 2020. Now, obviously that exact date isn't going to happen this year as we're only days away from that and we've heard nothing, but I am expecting them to follow a similar structure and hold another Forward event this fall. If it doesn't come in September, then I would highly expect one to be in October. The only point at which I'd begin to worry about the Division 2's new content and Heartland is if there's not another Forward event this year, or if there is one and the Division doesn't show up there. And if that happens, and if there's still no word from Yannick, Terry, or the two projects' social media teams, then some questions would absolutely start needing to be raised. But until such a time comes, and hopefully it doesn't, then I think it's important to know that it's a hell of a lot more people than just me who are wholeheartedly agreeing upon the idea that an upcoming Ubisoft Forward event in the next few weeks and months should finally bring us some updates on the Division 2's new content and the Division Heartland. Alright, shifting over to that secondary topic I mentioned at the start of the video, regardless of if we have news right now or not, I have a definitive date that I'm predicting we are now going to see TU13 or whatever new update will be called for the Division 2. This is thanks to further information we've received regarding Season 7, which is the Season 4 End of Watch rerun, which is beginning this coming Tuesday. Now, just for a bit of recap, earlier in the year when we were first told about the Year 3 content plans Ubisoft had for the Division 2, it was laid out that until new content was ready, reruns of the Year 2 seasons would happen. They also said that this new content was ideally scheduled for the end of this year, that being 2021, but with some leeway to push into next year if need be. Now, if you've watched some of my videos, you'll know that I'm fairly confident that they're going to hit that optimistic deadline and release the content in December of this year. That's what I've been saying for weeks, and what the Season 7 info brings us is an exact date of when this rerun will end. Now again, they pitched us the reruns of the Year 2 seasons. They started with Season 1 and then magically skipped over Season 2 to jump straight to 3 and 4. Now, if I was a betting man, I would guess that this wasn't done without a reason. I think if they knew the content was going to take longer than the expected, timeline and release in 2022, then they probably would have gone ahead with adding in Season 2 and maybe modifying things down the road if need be. Now, is it impossible that they'd rerun Season 2 after Season 4 if the content isn't ready? No, it's not, but it would definitely be weird, and I don't think they want to leave the game with nothing going on. They want to have some sort of events happening in-game, which is why I'm even more confident now that the Season 7 ending date is indicative of an approaching lock-in date for the release of TU13, and presumably Season 8, which should be an entirely new season and not a rerun. So there was an official date rundown for Season 7 posted on Ubisoft's website. You can see that up on screen right now, and you'll note that the final event begins on November 23rd. That is Global Event Reanimated, which if you'll recall, GEs only last for 1 week, and the leagues run for 2 weeks, hence why a league begins 1 week before that final GE, which indicates that Season 7 will conclude on November 30th of 2021. This means that I'm officially going to predict that TU13 and or Season 8 releases on December 7th of 2021. This would go with the 1 week season gap model like we're seeing in-game right now, how there's a 1 week gap in between the reruns of Season 3 and 4, and this would be almost exactly a year after TU12 and Season 4 began, and I just think it seems like a realistic release date. Now, certainly that could wiggle around a little bit. Maybe they make Season 7 run for an extra week at the end with no events, or they leave 2 weeks in between 7 and 8. That way the updated content would drop on December 14th instead, but either way, I'm predicting we see TU13 and Season 8 drop on or around December 7th of 2021. And again, if we start to see more troubling signs like no Ubisoft Forward event or no Division showing up at such an event, then maybe I'd begin to reconsider this prediction. But with everything we know right now, the small updates we've gotten claiming the team is on track for a late 2021 release and Yannick's recent comments, this is what I'm sticking with. And all we can do right now is hope that we don't have to wait too much longer before we can hear more definitively for ourselves and we can begin to move out of the realm of speculation that we've been living in for so long. Maybe they do a PTS for this update throughout November. I could certainly see that happening, or maybe they go in Warlord style and keep everything very secretive since they've had so long to work on it. That didn't end up going too well back then as far as, bugs were concerned, so we'll see what they decide there. But either way, I'm just excited knowing that as each day passes, we inch closer to finally getting a look at what the future of the Division universe has in store for us. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on to be updated every time I upload. Let me know your thoughts on the various topics we discussed today. Are you in agreement with the vast majority of the community that if another Ubisoft Forward event is announced, then we will indeed see the Division news there? Do you think there will even be another Ubisoft Forward event this year? And do you think my reasoning is sound to predict that December 7th, or maybe the 14th, is a definitive date for Division 2's new content? Certainly leave all of your thoughts on that down below. Without official news, the next best thing we can do is speculate and discuss, so I'm certainly curious to hear what you're all thinking right now that Gamescom has come and gone. But yeah, everyone, I think that is going to do it. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until the next one, guys, RogueGold out.